Are you an angry parent? Do you spend a tremendous amount of time frustrated, irritated, angry with your child? Is your child regularly disrespecting you? Do you feel that it's almost a daily occurrence that you lose your temper? I want to talk to you a little bit today about this. If you see value in this particular episode, please like and subscribe below. So here's the deal. Every parent deals with anger. Every human being deals with anger and with irritation with those that we live in constant contact with sometimes. But there's a difference between parents who are angry all the time and whose kids are constantly an irritation to them, and parents who love and enjoy bringing your kids everywhere with you. Love and enjoy being around them. I hear over and over again coming from parents, "Oh, I just can't wait for my date night with my wife. We can get away from these little monsters." I see just a haggard exhaustion in so many parents. And it just doesn't have to be there. By background, I'm a father of two 11-year-olds, soon to be 12. They're twins, boy-girl twins, and an 8-year-old. We homeschool our kids. We live up in the mountains of southwest Montana, as you can see. And I love being a dad. It's my favorite part of life. Now, my wife and I will get away sometimes, just the two of us, but it completely 100% being honest with you. When we do, it's about us having us time. It's not about us escaping our children. We just don't feel the need to escape our children. I don't want to paint a picture for you that our household is perfect, or that I'm the perfect dad, or my wife is the perfect mom, although she comes pretty darn close. But what I want to paint a picture for you is that life doesn't have to be the way it maybe is for you. When my son was 1.5 years old, I read this fantastic book. And this book changed my perspective about a lot of things. And I remember it making an argument that it felt a little raw, like, ooh, that's kind of uncomfortable to talk about our children that way. But then as I thought about it, I realized, you know what? That's right. It's correct. I'm going to talk to you dog owners out there. Have you ever trained a dog yourself? Let's rate the intelligence of a dog versus a human being. Obviously, there's no comparison. Human beings have the ability to empathize, to be self-aware, to think through problems in a way that dogs will never have the ability. Yet, how many of you parents find it easier to bring your dog to a park than to bring your child to a park, because your child is the one that's going to be getting into trouble, while your dog is well trained and he's going to heel and he's going to lay down when you ask him to or sit when you tell him to? I think some of us can relate to this, that our dogs are a whole lot easier than our children. Easier in the sense that our dog is not going to irritate us and cause us to become angry nearly as readily as our kids will. I want to suggest to you something that was a little bit revolutionary to me. If your dog can be trained by you to obey on the first command, children are one heck of a lot smarter than that dog, and they have the full mental capability to be as obedient as your dumb mutt. How many times have you as a parent done this? Little Johnny, stop doing that. No, don't touch that. I said don't touch that. All right, I'm only going to tell you one more time. Don't touch that. Johnny, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Johnny, stop it. Don't touch that. Johnny, knock it. Okay, Johnny, that's it. And that's when Johnny finally responds, right? Why do you think Johnny doesn't respond until he feels your anger? Because he knows what's coming next, right? He knows, oh, okay, I better obey. Mom's getting serious about it. Dad's serious about it now. I can feel their anger. I'm going to get a spanking. I'm going to get in trouble now. I better obey. If your dog can learn to obey on the first time, I want to challenge you that your child can learn to obey on the first time as well. Now, going back to the dog example, if your dog jumps up on a nice old lady, you've got your dog on the leash, what are you going to do? Almost knocks the old lady over. She catches her balance and she's okay. What are you going to do? Rex, don't do that. It jumps up on her again. Rex, stop that. Jumps up on the old lady again. Rex, I told you. I'm going to count to 3. Pretty soon here, I'm going to count to 3. Rex jumps up on the old lady again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's comedic, but that's how we approach raising our children. So often, that's how parents will approach raising their children. It's the exact same thing. Okay, I want to give you another example. If your child is playing out in the front lawn, there's a busy street near your house, and the child runs out into the street, what are you going to do? Little Johnny, don't do that. Johnny, I told you, don't do that. Johnny, stop. I'm going to count to 3. Of course not. No parent is going to approach a child running into danger in that way. You're going to teach that child really fast, one way or another. You're going to teach that child really fast that there are serious consequences if you run out into the street, right? And I bet once you've done that once or twice, your child's not going to run out into the street again. Parents, if you are consistent in discipline, I want to be the voice to tell you it is not too much to ask of your child that they obey you on the first time. There's a reason why your child does not obey you until the 9th or 10th or 12th or whatever time that you tell them to do something, or that you tell them to stop doing something. There's a reason. And that is because you have trained them to be that way. Kids are so much smarter than dogs, and they have it figured out. They have you figured out a whole lot more than you think they do. They know that when mom or dad says, little Johnny, don't do that, that doesn't actually mean little Johnny, don't do that. What that means is that, all right, I've got 7 or 8 times of hearing that, and then when I hear my mom or dad start to boil over in anger, then I got to obey. So it's my first real light warning. Johnny, stop that. It's a second warning. It's just, it's a little elevated. I still got at least this far to go before I push him to the limit where I really better obey. Okay, that's the unconscious deal that you've trained into your child's head. I don't count to 3. I think it's really ridiculous. I'm going to count to 3. The same way as it would be if your dog is jumping up on a nice old lady and almost knocking her over. You're not going to count to 3. You're going to discipline the dog right now. Right now. This sounds impossible, doesn't it? Because your child disobeys 50 times a day. Are you going to discipline your child 50 times a day? My goodness. How are you going to do that? There's not enough time in the day. You don't have enough energy to do that. You can't have this fight with them 50 times in a day. If you become absolutely 100% committed, and your spouse does too, if you as a father and mother parenting team become 100% committed, it is not going to be as hard as you think. I'm talking 1, 2, 3 days. If you expect obedience on the first time, and if you don't get it, immediately that child is disciplined. If you do that for 2 or 3 days, you will be amazed. It is not too much to ask. The culture is going to tell you that it's unfair to expect your child to obey on the first time that you tell them to do something. You know what? Look at the culture around you. How many parents actually enjoy bringing their kids out to a nice dinner someplace? Talk about little kids, even toddlers. How many parents enjoy doing that? I do. My kids do. And that's the next point that you're going to notice, is that your children are going to become so much more joyful. You would think, well, geez, it's like I'm putting shackles on them and turning them into slaves if I make them obey on the first time I tell them to do something or not to do something. That's not fair. No. You don't get it yet, but you will. Your child will become so much more filled with joy. They will have more energy too. I know you think right now that it's freedom for them to be able to disobey you 6, 8, 10 times in a row before you do something about it. I know you think that's freedom and that your child needs that. That is not freedom. It is not freedom. Your child will operate best within the confines of boundaries that are reliable and consistent. So that's all I've got to say today. Your child's one heck of a lot smarter than your dog. If you can train your dog to obey you on the first command, you can train your child to do so. It is not slavery to do this to your child. It is not unreasonable for you as a parent to insist on obedience the first time from your child. You will bring great joy into your child's life. You will bring much more energy into your life, much less anger. You'll drive a lot of that anger out of your household altogether if you can become consistent in disciplining your children in order to push the issue. You're the parent, you're the grown-up, be the grown-up. Enforce the boundary the first time they disobey. Thank you for joining me today. If there's anything on here that benefited you, then please like and subscribe below. Feel free to share this video with anybody that you know that needs to hear the message. Have a great rest of your day.